Welcome to the EMT Spot's Blood Pressure Podcast. I'm your host, Samuel Harrison.
And I'm Olivia Harper.
And we are going to be diving into a topic that's pretty important for a lot of people out there.
Absolutely.
And that is the link between high blood pressure and high cholesterol.
Yeah, it's a fascinating connection and really more common than people might think.
Yeah, they're always kind of like these partners in crime, causing trouble.
Yeah.
But have you ever wondered why?
It's a really good question.
So let's break this down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What is high cholesterol even?
Okay, so cholesterol is a fatty substance.
Yeah.
And we need it.
We do.
Our bodies need it.
Okay.
Our liver makes it naturally.
Interesting.
And it's used to build healthy cells and hormones. The problem is when we have too much cholesterol in our blood,
Okay.
especially the bad kind,
There's a bad kind.
LDL cholesterol.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
It's like a traffic jam in your arteries, making it harder for blood to flow smoothly.
So it's like those clogged arteries that we always hear about.
Exactly.
So what causes that overload of cholesterol? Is it all about what we eat?
Diet plays a big role, but it's not the only factor.
Right.
Foods high in saturated and trans fats, like those yummy processed meats,
Oh, the good stuff.
fried foods,
Oh, no.
sugary treats, all these things can really contribute to high cholesterol levels.
That's interesting because I think there's so much emphasis on food,
Yeah.
but it sounds like it's not the only piece of the puzzle.
Right. You also have things like a lack of physical activity,
Oh, of course.
obesity, smoking. Those all can tip the scales.
So it's like a lifestyle in general.
Yeah.
I'm guessing genetics are also involved in this?
Absolutely. Genetics can predispose some people to higher cholesterol levels. And don't forget about conditions like diabetes and kidney disease.
Oh, wow. So there's a lot at play here.
Right. Even an underactive thyroid can impact cholesterol.
Okay, so we've got this complex web of things that contribute to high cholesterol.
Ah.
How do we know if we're in a healthy range?
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Your doctor can help you determine your ideal levels based on your age
Okay.
and gender. But in general, a total cholesterol below 200 milligrams per deciliter is considered desirable.
Yep.
When it comes to that LDL, we talked about the bad one.
Yeah.
You want to aim for under 130 or even lower if you have other risk factors.
In excess.
Now, for the good cholesterol HDL, we want to see numbers above 60.
Oh, so the higher the better there.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see just how important all these factors are for our overall health. So let's circle back to that connection between high cholesterol and blood pressure. How are those two linked?
Well, we have to talk about atherosclerosis, which is basically plaque buildup in your arteries.
Okay.
Imagine gunk accumulating in a pipe, narrowing the passageway, and restricting blood flow.
Oh.
So that restricted blood flow makes your heart work harder, leading to increased pressure.
So like trying to push the same amount of water through a narrower pipe.
Precisely. The pressure's got to increase somewhere.
That's a great analogy. But is it just about that physical blockage?
There's more to it.
Okay.
High cholesterol doesn't just clog arteries, it also damages that delicate lining of your blood vessels.
Oh, wow.
It's called the endothelium,
Okay.
and that lining helps regulate blood flow.
I see.
So when it's damaged, it can further contribute to high blood pressure.
So it's not just the plumbing, it's the structure of the pipes themselves.
Exactly. And then there's inflammation.
Ah, yeah, I've heard about that.
High cholesterol can trigger that in your artery walls,
Okay.
setting the stage for both atherosclerosis and high blood pressure.
Oh, wow. So it's like a domino effect.
Exactly.
One thing leads to another.
And let's not forget about our kidneys. High blood pressure can damage them,
Oh, yeah.
and they're essential for filtering waste and regulating blood pressure. This damage can lead to even higher cholesterol levels.
Oh, no. So it's like a vicious cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
High blood pressure and high cholesterol just feed into each other, making both conditions worse.
And what's even more concerning is that even slightly elevated levels of both conditions can accelerate damage to our arteries over time.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not just about reaching those critical high numbers, but understanding that cumulative effect.
So it's not just about avoiding a crisis, it's about being proactive
Exactly.
and protecting our heart health for the long haul. It's like a two-pronged attack.
That's a great way to put it. Excess cholesterol builds up, narrowing those arteries.
Right.
And then high blood pressure creates those little tears in the weakened walls.
Oh.
And that accelerates cholesterol accumulation.
So it's like a double whammy.
Exactly.
And that can lead to some serious complications down the line
Absolutely.
if we don't take steps to manage these conditions.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about how this can be a pretty serious problem for people.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what we can do about it.
Yeah.
What steps can we take to manage these conditions?
That's the empowering part. We're not powerless.
Right.
We can do things to manage this and prevent those serious complications.
So where do we even start?
Diet plays a huge role.
Of course.
It's not about deprivation or some crazy fad diet. It's about sustainable changes.
Right. Making those healthy choices
Exactly.
and benefit us in the long run.
Right. Small changes can make a big difference.
I like that.
Start by incorporating more fruits and veggies,
Okay.
whole grains. Choose lean protein sources like fish, beans, poultry.
So it's not just about what we're cutting out.
Right.
It's about what we're adding in.
Yeah, and limiting those saturated and trans fats.
Right. Being mindful of those less healthy options.
Exactly.
What about portion control?
Oh, absolutely. Even with those healthy foods,
Okay.
it's about being aware of how much you're consuming
That makes sense.
and making sure you're not overeating.
Right. We got to watch those serving sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've got diet down. What about staying hydrated?
Water is essential.
Yeah.
It can actually help regulate blood pressure.
Interesting.
Aim for plenty of water throughout the day.
Okay. So we've covered diet, hydration. Let's move on to exercise.
Sounds good.
150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. But what if someone's just starting out?
Start slow and gradually increase your activity level.
Okay.
Even a 10-minute walk a few times a day can be beneficial.
Oh, wow. That's not bad.
Find activities you enjoy.
Right.
Make them a regular part of your routine.
Finding that sweet spot where it's challenging but enjoyable.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Right. It's got to be a habit.
Exactly.
What about strength training? I've heard that's good for heart health too.
Absolutely. It builds muscle mass, which helps improve metabolism
Okay.
and supports healthy blood pressure. Aim for at least 2 sessions a week,
I can do that.
focusing on those major muscle groups.
Okay, so we've got cardio strength training. Are there other types of exercise that can help?
Yoga and Tai Chi are excellent options.
Oh, yeah.
They help reduce stress, improve flexibility,
Okay.
and promote relaxation.
I love that.
All of those can positively impact your blood pressure.
It's like that mind-body connection.
Right.
And speaking of mindfulness, let's talk about stress management. Chronic stress can contribute to high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
What are some effective techniques for managing that stress?
Deep breathing exercises are a great place to start.
Okay.
They can really slow down your heart rate and calm your nervous system.
Makes sense.
Meditation and mindfulness practices are also super helpful.
I've heard good things about meditation.
Yeah.
Any other simple strategies?
Spending time in nature,
Oh, I love that.
whether it's a walk in the park, a hike in the woods, or just sitting in your backyard.
It's so calming.
It is.
And if someone's really struggling, seeking professional help is always a good idea.
I completely agree.
No shame in that.
Right. Mental health is just as important as physical health.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
It is.
So we've talked about a lot today.
We have.
From the connection between these two conditions to how to manage them.
Yeah.
But there's more to uncover.
Absolutely. We've talked about those lifestyle modifications, but sometimes those changes alone aren't enough.
That's a great point.
Stay tuned, because in part 3, we'll dive into the role of medication in managing high cholesterol and high blood pressure.
That's good.
We'll also discuss how to work with your healthcare provider
Okay.
to create a personalized plan for optimal heart health.
Welcome back to the EMTSpot's Blood Pressure Podcast. We've been talking about high cholesterol and high blood pressure.
And how they can really team up to cause problems.
Yeah, we've discussed all those lifestyle changes. Diet, exercise, stress management.
Right, all the good stuff.
But sometimes those changes aren't enough to manage these conditions.
That's where medication can come in.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What are some of the medications that are used to help with these conditions?
For high cholesterol, statins are often the first line of defense.
Okay, I've heard of those.
They block an enzyme the liver needs to produce cholesterol.
So basically reduce the amount of cholesterol our bodies make.
Exactly, like turning down the faucet on cholesterol production.
Okay, I like that analogy.
But there are other types of medications too.
Oh, really?
Like bile acid sequestrants, Etomine B,
Wow, those are some big words.
and PCSK9 inhibitors.
Okay.
They all work a bit differently, but they all aim to lower those cholesterol levels.
So it's like having a whole toolbox of options.
Mm-hmm.
What about for high blood pressure?
There are several classes of blood pressure medications, each with their own way of working.
Interesting.
Diuretics help your kidneys get rid of excess water and salt,
Okay.
which lowers blood volume and therefore blood pressure.
So reducing that fluid pressure.
Exactly. Then we have ACE inhibitors and ARBs. They block certain hormones that constrict blood vessels.
Okay.
So those vessels can relax and widen, making it easier for blood to flow.
Like giving them a little breathing room.
Exactly. And then beta blockers.
Those sound familiar.
They work by slowing down your heart rate and reducing the force of contractions,
Okay.
which helps lower blood pressure.
It sounds like there are so many options out there.
There are, and that's why working with your healthcare provider is so important. They can determine the best medication or combination of medications for you.
Right. It's not one size fits all.
Absolutely. Things like your age, your overall health, other conditions, even other medications you might be taking.
Wow, that's a lot to consider.
It is. So be open and honest with your doctor about everything.
Right. And ask questions.
Yes, be proactive advocate for your health.
Your doctor is your partner in this journey.
Exactly. And don't be discouraged if it takes a while to find the right medication or dosage.
Okay.
It's a process, but your doctor will be there every step of the way.
So patience and open communication are key.
Exactly.
But what about those lifestyle changes? Do those still matter if you're on medication?
Absolutely. Medication can be a powerful tool, but it's not a magic bullet.
Right. It's not a free pass.
Those healthy habits are still crucial.
Okay, good to know.
It's all about that holistic approach.
So what can happen if high cholesterol and high blood pressure go unchecked?
Heart disease is a major concern. High cholesterol can lead to plaque buildup in the arteries, restricting blood flow to the heart.
Right.
This can cause chest pain, shortness of breath, and even heart attacks.
That's scary.
And high blood pressure makes things worse. It strains the heart, making it work harder.
Uh-oh.
This can lead to an enlarged heart and eventually heart failure.
So both conditions increase the risk of serious heart problems.
And it doesn't stop there. High blood pressure can damage blood vessels in the brain,
Oh, wow.
increasing the risk of stroke. It can affect the kidneys, leading to kidney disease,
Jeez.
and even damage the blood vessels in your eyes, potentially causing vision problems.
So the impact can be really serious.
It can. That's why taking these conditions seriously and managing them is crucial.
Prevention and early intervention are so important.
Absolutely.
So what's the key takeaway for our listeners today?
Knowledge is power. We've learned about the connection, the risks, and the strategies for taking control.
We're not powerless.
We can make informed choices,
It starts with awareness.
making those healthy changes and working with your healthcare provider.
This has been a great deep dive into the world of high cholesterol and high blood pressure.
It has.
Thanks for joining us on this journey, Olivia.
My pleasure.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for tuning in to the EMT-SPOT's Blood Pressure Podcast. I'm Samuel Harrison.
And I'm Olivia Harper.
We encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast with anyone who might find it helpful. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference when it comes to your heart health. What one step will you take today to show your heart some love?